Welcome to Discovery Dynamics. Get ready for 30 mind-blowing facts that will surprise, amaze, and keep you guessing. Curious? Let's uncover the unexpected. Have you ever wondered how many people have lived on Earth since the very beginning? Well, scientists estimate that around 108 to 115 billion people have walked this planet. From our earliest ancestors, starting just 50,000 to 150,000 years ago, to the billions alive today, it's mind-blowing to think about how much human life has evolved and grown. The populations started small, with only a few thousand people scattered across the planet, living in small tribes and relying on hunting and gathering. Did you know that cats used to have passports, not for vacation, but for serious sea travel? Back in the mid-20th century, cats were essential crew members on ships. They weren't just cute companions, they were brought aboard to hunt down rats and mice that could ruin supplies and spread disease. Some ships even gave these cats official documents, like a passport, so they could travel freely from port to port. Fort Ord in California has a fascinating history. Originally established as a military base in 1917, it played a major role during World War II and the Cold War. It was home to thousands of soldiers and was even used for training before being decommissioned in 1994. Today, Fort Ord is a sprawling area with nature reserves, hiking trails, and wildlife. Here's a quick geography twist. The United Kingdom and Great Britain are not the same, but they're often mixed up. Great Britain is only the island that holds England, Scotland, and Wales, while the United Kingdom includes all of that, plus Northern Ireland. So, when people say Great Britain, they're missing one key piece of the puzzle. It's like calling a whole pizza just one slice. You're leaving out the best part. In Sweden, they have a super unique approach to education. Forest schools. These schools take kids out into the woods, rain or shine, where they learn everything from math to science in nature. The idea is to connect children with the outdoors, develop problem-solving skills, and build resilience through hands-on experiences. It's all about letting kids explore, play, and learn in an environment that's far from traditional classrooms. According to scientific research, the Sahara Desert was once a lush, green landscape teeming with life. Thousands of years ago, the region had lakes, rivers, and abundant vegetation, supported by a much wetter climate. Studies of ancient rock art and fossils show that animals like crocodiles and hippos roamed the area, and humans lived there. However, due to gradual climate shifts, the Sahara dried up over thousands of years, transforming into the arid desert we see today. Cuttlefish are incredible chameleons of the ocean. They can change their color and texture almost instantly, thanks to special cells called chromatophores, which contain pigments. These cells allow them to blend into their environment, communicate with other cuttlefish, or even confuse predators. Not only can they change color, but they can also produce intricate patterns and textures on their skin. This amazing ability helps them with camouflage, hunting, and mating. Ever wonder why you feel hungry and then suddenly feel full? It all comes down to your body's intricate system of signals. When you're hungry, your stomach releases a hormone called ghrelin, telling your brain it's time to eat. But once you start eating, your stomach stretches, and hormones like leptin and insulin kick in, signaling that you're full. The whole process is super fast. Sometimes your brain gets the full message even before you're finished eating. Edinburgh has a hidden, mysterious, underground world. Beneath the city, there are ancient vaults and tunnels that were once home to the city's poorest people in the 18th century. These underground streets were overcrowded, damp, and dangerous, with people living in terrible conditions. Over time, the vaults were abandoned, and many were forgotten. Today, they're a popular tourist attraction, with ghost tours and historical walks. One of the most expensive properties in the world is Antilia Tower, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. Located in Mumbai, India, this 27-story skyscraper is home to billionaire Mukesh Ambani. Inside, you'll find everything from multiple swimming pools to a 50-seat movie theater and even a helipad on top. The tower is designed to withstand earthquakes and has a staff of over 600 people just to maintain it. Norway has the second longest coastline in the world, right after Canada. Even though countries like Russia and Australia have huge land masses, they fall behind Norway when it comes to coastline length. Why? Norway's coastline is incredibly intricate, thanks to its thousands of islands and deep fjords. If you measure the coastline's twists and turns, it adds up to over 58,000 kilometers, far longer than you'd expect from a country of its size. Green eyes are one of the rarest eye colors in the world, making them pretty special. Only about 2% of the world's population has green eyes. They get their unique color from a combination of a small amount of melanin and a special light-scattering effect. Green eyes are most commonly found in people of European descent, particularly in countries like Ireland, Scotland, and the Netherlands. In fact, Ireland is known for having the highest percentage of green-eyed people in the world. The longest flight in the world is currently operated by Singapore Airlines, flying from Singapore to New York City's JFK Airport. This non-stop flight covers an incredible distance of around 9,500 miles and lasts about 18 hours. Passengers on this ultra-long haul experience everything from special meals to sleep pods designed to make the long journey as comfortable as possible. It's a feat of modern aviation, connecting two major cities across the globe in one marathon flight. The lateral line is like a superpower for fish. It's a unique sensory system that allows them to detect vibrations and movements in the water around them. Think of it as a built-in radar that helps fish sense nearby objects, predators, or even schools of fish, even in total darkness or murky water. This line runs along each side of a fish's body, filled with sensitive cells that pick up the tiniest shifts in water pressure. Japan, one of the oldest and most fascinating nations in the world, is facing a unique challenge. Its population is shrinking at an alarming rate. With one of the world's oldest populations, Japan's birth rate has dropped significantly, and the country is now dealing with a rapidly aging society. Experts predict that by the end of this century, Japan's population could decrease by as much as half. Adele's concert at the Adele Arena in Munich was nothing short of epic, with the largest temporary arena ever built just for her. What made this experience even more jaw-dropping was the massive LED screen that dominated the stage, so large it felt like the entire arena was wrapped in her music. This incredible screen brought her performance to life, showing stunning visuals and close-ups that made every fan feel like they were right in the front row. The Strahov Monastic Library in Prague, Czech Republic, is home to some of the most beautiful and rare books in the world. This library, founded in the 12th century, is housed within a historic monastery and is famous for its breathtaking Baroque architecture and stunning ceiling frescoes. What makes it even more unique is the Theological Hall, a room filled with thousands of antique books, which is often considered one of the most beautiful libraries in the world. One fascinating superfood is spirulina. This vibrant blue-green algae is packed with nutrients, including protein, vitamins, and minerals, making it one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. It's often considered a complete protein because it contains all 9 essential amino acids. What's even more amazing is that it's a powerful antioxidant, and it can help boost the immune system, improve muscle strength, and support heart health. Oxygen is absolutely crucial for our bodies. It's the lifeblood of every cell. In fact, around 20% of the air we breathe is oxygen, and our bodies rely on it to produce energy. It's used in the process of cellular respiration, where our cells convert glucose into energy. Without oxygen, our cells wouldn't be able to function properly, leading to a rapid loss of energy. The brain, for example, is highly sensitive to a lack of oxygen, which is why even a short period without it can cause dizziness. Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth, continues to get taller each year. Located on the border between Nepal and China, Everest's peak currently stands at about 8,848.86 meters, 29,031.7 feet, above sea level, but it's actually growing due to tectonic activity. The Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates are constantly pushing against each other, causing the mountain to rise by about 4 millimeters to 2 centimeters annually. On average, Americans spend about 5 to 7 hours per day on their phones. That number has been steadily increasing over the years, with many people using their phones for everything from social media and streaming to shopping and working. Interestingly, this means that the average person could spend over a third of their waking hours on their device. RAF Binbrook, located in Lincolnshire, England, was a notable Royal Air Force station that played a key role during the Cold War. It was originally opened in 1940 and became home to various squadrons, including the famous number 12th Squadron, which flew the Avro Vulcan bombers. The base was integral during the Cold War as part of Britain's nuclear deterrence strategy. RAF Binbrook was also used during the Falklands War in the 1980s, serving as a staging point for British aircraft. In Japan, it's a unique cultural practice for students to participate in daily cleaning at school. Rather than having janitors, students are responsible for cleaning their classrooms, hallways, and even the bathrooms. This practice is deeply rooted in Japanese values like discipline, respect, and teamwork. Students believe that cleaning helps them develop a sense of responsibility and appreciation for their environment. It's also a great way to teach humility, as even the principal might be seen picking up a broom alongside the students. Did you know there are more possible chess moves than there are atoms in the entire universe? It's crazy to think about, but even the most advanced computers today can't calculate every single possible move in a game of chess, no matter how powerful they are. Chess has so many potential combinations that it would take even supercomputers thousands of years to explore them all. This is what makes the game so endlessly fascinating. The endless possibilities mean no two games are ever exactly the same. In France, it was once quite common for students to be served wine with meals in schools, particularly in the past. This practice was part of the country's deep-rooted cultural connection with wine, which has been enjoyed for centuries. However, wine in schools was typically diluted and served in small amounts, often during lunch, as part of a balanced meal. It wasn't seen as something to be consumed for recreational purposes, but rather as a part of the dining experience, promoting moderation and a healthy relationship with alcohol. An interesting fact about Citizen is that they were the first watch company to create a solar-powered watch back in 1976. This groundbreaking technology, known as eco-drive, revolutionized the watch industry by using light, whether natural or artificial, to power the watch, meaning no need for batteries. Eco-drive watches can run for months or even years without needing a battery change, making them not only eco-friendly, but also incredibly convenient. During Germany's colonization of Cameroon, the Germans imposed a harsh labor system, forcing locals to work on plantations and in mines. This system was brutal and exploited the native population for profit, especially with crops like cocoa and rubber. The people of Cameroon weren't passive, and in response, they staged several uprisings. One of the most significant revolts happened between 1904 and 1907, as the locals fought back against these oppressive conditions. An interesting fact about Buddhism is that it teaches the concept of rebirth rather than reincarnation. While many people think of it as reincarnation, Buddhists believe that after death, the mind or consciousness is reborn into a new life, but it's not the same self or soul that exists in a new body. This idea is tied to the belief in karma, where actions in past lives influence one's current life. Buddhism also encourages the practice of meditation to reach nirvana, a state of liberation and freedom from the cycle of rebirth. Owls actually have a surprisingly flexible neck. They can rotate their necks up to 270 degrees, which allows them to look in almost any direction without moving their bodies. While their necks are indeed visible, it often appears that they don't have one because of the way their feathers are arranged, giving them a wide, rounded appearance. This flexibility helps owls spot prey from almost any angle without having to shift their bodies, making them incredibly stealthy hunters. Lamacun, often referred to as Turkish pizza, is a popular dish in many parts of the Middle East and Mediterranean. The interesting thing about lamacun is that, unlike traditional pizza, it's made with a thin, crispy dough topped with a savory mixture of minced meat, usually lamb or beef, onions, garlic, tomatoes, herbs, and spices. It's typically served rolled up with fresh vegetables like parsley, onions, and a squeeze of lemon juice. Thanks for exploring Discovery Dynamics. We've uncovered 30 incredible facts, but there's always more to discover. Stay curious, stay amazed, and I'll see you in the next one.